Good morning all of you. Welcome back. If you remember, in the last class we have discussed, given any function, how to find out whether it is injective, surjective and hence bijective. In this class I have come with a new topic, that is composition of functions. It's a very important topic. So let me start. Suppose if I am given three non-empty sets, say x equal to 1, 2, 3. The elements are 1, 2, 3. I am given a set y. The elements are 2, 4, 6. I am given a set z. The elements are 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 and 36. I have taken this example specifically to explain the concept of composition of functions. So I have three sets x, y and z. Now you have a function f defined on x and y such that x is the domain, y is the codomain. Similarly, I am going to have another function, say g, from y to z. Okay. Now this f of x is defined as f of x equal to 2x, and here your g of y is defined as y square. Alright children, now I am going to learn composition of functions. So composition means two things are combined. So here what is combined is, here functions are combined. Okay, so that's why I have taken specifically two functions, f and g. If you carefully observe this function, children, you can see that in the first function, the codomain forms to be y, and in the second function, the codomain is something different, but domain is y. You can see here the first function's codomain is same as the second function's domain. Okay, so let us see whether it has any role in the definition of composition of functions. Okay, so now what I am going to do is I am going to pictorially represent this. Okay, so I have my set x here, I have my set y here, I have my set z. Now set z has many elements, so I will draw a little big. It is z. Now x is going to y under the relation f, and y going to z. It's a relation which is a function g, right? Both are functions, right? Now let me write what are the elements in x. X elements are 1, 2 and 3. Elements in y are 2, 4 and 6. Elements in z are 1, I have 4, I have 9, I have 16, I have 25, I have 36. Alright, I just represented the elements in the form of a diagram. Okay, now children, let us put the values of x in this and let us see where does it fall in y. Okay, so if I put the value of x as 1 here, you can see that here 1 will go to 2 into 1, 2. Okay, if I put the value of x here 2, see, I am taking values from my set x. I can't take any values outside my set because that is my domain. If I take x as 2, you can see that the value is going to be 4. If I take x as 3, my value is going to be 6. So this is how under your function f, x going to y, the images of 1, 2, 3 is 2, 4 and 6. Now same way let us go for y to z. Okay, I am going to take values of y from my domain, which is strictly 2, 4 and 6. So what will happen here? Y goes to y square. So that means 2 will become 4. Okay, then next value here is 4. So 4 will become here 16. Alright, and the next value here is 6. Okay, here I have 6, so 6 will become 36. Okay, so what you have seen here, under the function g, elements of y is going to z under this. But if you commonly or if you closely observe this, children, you can see here that pictorially your 1 is going to 2 here and your 2 is becoming 4 here. Yes, similarly you can see here your 2 is becoming 4 here and 4 is becoming 16 here. Right, so something is going on in between, that the elements gets changed from first set to the second set and to the second set, from the second set to the third set. Similarly, the last element you can see here, 3 under f is 6, but the same 6 under g becomes 36. So we can see that g is having some role between x and z. So this way of representation is nothing but your composition of functions. So here, in other words, I can say here, children, your 1 belonging to x is assigned to 4 belonging to z. Okay, and here element 2 belonging to x here is assigned to your number 16 belonging to z. Okay, and your number 3 belonging to x here is assigned to 36 belong to z. Okay, now this all is done through this function g. Can you see that? With the help of g only, 1 is becoming 4. With the help of this function g, your 2 is becoming 16. With the help of your function g, your 3 is becoming 36. So what happens is, children, it is going from, instead of going from f to g and g to this, instead of going from x to y and going from y to z, children, I can directly try to create a function from x to z. So I can define a new, very well I can define, if I find some relation between these terms, I can define a function from x to z. Now how do I define a function from x to z? So that is clear, it is going from x to z. Okay, it's going from x to z. But if I look an element at here, children, here the element is x. Okay, I'll just write here element is x. But when it comes here, this will become f of x. Yes or no? Under the operation f, this will become f of x. Now when this element will come here, children, it will become g of f of x. I hope you understand. Element here is just x, but under the function f, it will become f of x here. But another function g is operated on it, so it will become g of f of x. That means my new function, say if I name it as h, okay, if I name it as h, children, this h is nothing but composition of functions f and g, because if I should have f, that means my functions f and g should be composed here. Actually what is happening here is your x, right? Your x is becoming f of x, your f of x is becoming g of f of x. So here h is called as the composition function of f and g. So h is nothing but composed of f and g, and when we look at the elements, it is actually h is equal to g composite f. Now why do I write g composite f? Because as I told again and again, x is becoming f of x and your function g is operating on f of x. So I will write it as composition h is equal to g composite f. And you can see that it is going from x to z. So h is going from x to z. So the new function f has x as the domain and z has the codomain. Now if I look at the elements, children, here it is 1 is becoming 4 here, right? And here 2 is becoming here 16, and here 3 is becoming 36. Yes, from f, when it goes to our new function h, it is becoming like this. Okay, through g, it is becoming like this. So if I'm able to write a common formula, then I can very well write how my h of x will look like. Is that if you look here, children, you can see that these all numbers are multiples of 4. 4 ones are 4, 4 fours are 16, 4 nines are 36. You can also smell some squares here. Yes or no? If you can see here, children, you can see here say 2 square. I can see here 4 square, right? I can see here 6 square, right? So what will we do here? So let me write here, let me start with 1. So 1 square. Okay, 1 square is 1. Suppose if I write here 2 square. Suppose if I write here 3 square. Okay, now it is 1, it is 4 and it is 9. So what is short of here is 4. So if I write here as 4 into 1 square, 4 ones are 4. If I write here 4 into 4, 4 fours are 16. If I write here 4 into 3 square, so that means 4 into 9 is 36. So that means I have got a new function I have got a new definition for my function h as h of x is becoming 4 times x square. So this is how the composition of function f and g, and it is denoted as g, and a small o or 0 is put, and it is written as g. It is read as g composite f. That means for getting h function, I am operating my function g on my function f. So it is written as g composite f. And as I said to you, as when I began with the definition, I started saying or showing you that the codomain of the first set is same as the domain of the second set. Only then this transformation is possible. That's why I showed you pictorially. Similarly, children, you can also have, we have defined here g composite f. You can also have f composite, not here. You can also have another function, say f composite g, where the same condition is happening. The first function's codomain is same as the second function's domain. So I can write f composite g also. Okay, so in general, if I write the definition of composition of f and g, children, how do I write here? The definition says like that: if f is from x to y and g is from y to z, then my h, now instead of h, children, I am going to name it as g composite f. That means on my function f, g is operating, so I get a new function h, which I have written here is a function going from x to z. And your g composite, okay, it is called as composite. G composite f of x is defined as g of f of x, where my original x, right, this x is always coming from x. Okay, this is true for all x belonging to x. Okay, children, now let us understand this definition through an example. Okay, so let me give you an example. Suppose, children, if I have a set f, okay, it is having elements say 1, 3, 4, and it is going to set say 1, 2, 5. Okay, I am having another set g. It is having 1, 2, 5 elements, and it is going to 1 and 3. Okay, so here f, okay, f, another information is f function is defined this way. Okay, and your function g is defined as this way. Okay, then let us write down what is g composite f. Okay, let us write what is g composite f. First, before that, we have to check, are we able to write g composite f? Yes. How do you check, are you able to write g composite f? You have to check, as I said, the codomain of the second function should be same as the domain of the first function. So this is very well happening here. So I will have my function h, which is g composite f. It will be going from 1, 3, 4 to 1, 3. So I am going to write here g composite f is going to be 1, 3, 4, because these are common. These elements will act in between and give us the new function. So my 1, 3, 4 children will be going to 1 and 3. Okay, so this one part is clear. So the g composite f will exist. Now the second part is, children, how to read this. Right, you already know this. This is set of ordered pairs. So that means f of 1 is 2, f of 3 is 5, f of 4 is 1. Similarly, g of 1 is defined as 3, g of 2 is defined as 3, and g of 5 is defined as 1. That means here 1 is going to 3, 2 is going to 3, 5 is going to 1. Similarly, here 1 is going to 2, 3 is going to 5, and 4 is going to 1. Okay, so now let me write g composite f of all the elements. Now when I am going to write g composite f of elements, children, we know that we have to start with elements of the domain. So I have to write what is g composite f of 1, I have to write g composite f of 3, and I have to write g composite f of 4. Okay, so by definition of composition, we know that g composite f of x is g of f of x for all x belongs to x. So it will be nothing but g of f of 1. Okay, this will be g of f of 3. This is by definition. And this is g of f of 4. Okay, so now what will happen? F of 1, okay, f of 1 is given to as 2. So I will write f of 1 is given to me as 2. Here f of 3 is given to me as 5. Okay, I've got it from here. Here f of 4 is given to me as 1. Alright, now what about this? G of 2, I am going to look here. G of 2 is given to me 3. G of 5 is given to me 1. And G of 1 is again given to me as 3. Is that clear? So my answer is correct. How do I know my answer is correct? Because the final answer is 1 and 3 and your codomain is also having the elements 1 and 3. So this is how I am writing G composite F. Okay, similarly if I am given some another F composite G, you first check this condition. Second domain should be same as the first domain of the second function. Then you can very well write F composite G also. Hope you have understood, children. Now, two important results we have to learn immediately after learning this composition function. The first one is result number 1. The result number 1 says that if I have a function f from a to b and if I have a function g from b to c, okay, and both are 1 1, then show that, or then G composite F is 1 1. Okay, so it's saying that if f is 1 1 and g is 1 1, then we have to show that. We have to show that means it is a true result, right? So we have to show that g composite f is 1 1. So let us start with the usual way of proving it. Okay, so what I will apply the definition of g composite f. G composite f, again b here and b here, codomain and the domain are same, so it will be going from a to c. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take elements, let a1 a2 belongs to a, such that what happens, children? G composite f of a1 is same as G composite f of a2. Okay, this is the condition of injectivity, right? 1 1 function. So by definition this will become G of f of a of 1 and it will become G of f of a2, right? But f of a1 will be a1 and f of a2, children, will be a2, right? Why? Because our function f is 1 1. So f of a1 and f of a2 are same, right? F of a1 is defined as some a1 and f of a1, G of f of a1 is same as G of f of a2, right? But children, it is given to us that G is 1 1. Okay, here it is given G is 1 1. So I am first applying here. I made a mistake. I first applied it inside. No harm. Both are correct, but I will write it in a better way. So what will happen? Since G is operating first, no, children. So let me consider G. Okay, so what will happen? Since G is 1 1, I will have f of 1 will be same as f of a1 will be same as f of a2. Now again, f is injective, so what will happen? A1 will be equal to A2. So I have started with G composite f of A1 equal to G composite f of A2. This implies A1 equal to A2. I made a small confusion here. I first applied it inside. No problem. That's also correct. But I think it's better that we operate from outside. So f of A1 and f of A1, right? How did I get this f of a1 equal to f of a2? Because our function g was injective. So what will happen? F of a1 will be equal to f of a2. Okay, this term and this term will be same. Now after that, again I know that f is injective. So what will happen? A1 is equal to a2. So I have started with two 1 1 functions and I am able to show this composition is 1 1. Okay. Now the second result says that, now before doing second result, let us read it again, children. If f is a function from a to b and g is a function from b to z are 1 1, then show that g composite f is 1 1. Okay, now if I consider the converse of this statement, children, how will I write the converse of the statement? The converse of the statement says that if a function g composite f is 1 1, then then will be, or is it true that your function f and g needs to be 1 1? Let us check it. Okay, so let us check the converse of the statement. What does means converse of the statement? Means that, let me take it as some result 2. Okay, result 2 says that if G composite F is 1 1, okay, then what about, okay, then what can we conclude about, what about F and G? Okay, are they both 1 1? Are they both 1 1? Okay. Yes. So let us take an example, children. So if I am going to take an example, let us take x equal to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me take say y is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let me take z as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. Now f is a function f from x to y. Okay. G is a function from y to z. Now their definition, you should have some definition. Now we should know how they are mapped to is given by, say, f. Inside f the elements are 1 1, 2 2, 3 3 and 4 4. Alright, and in my G I have say element 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 4 4, 5 5 and 6 5. Okay. Yes. Now suppose this is my example, children. Here you can see that, children, my f is 1 map to 1, 2 going to 2, 3 going to 3, 4 going to 4. So here you can see that all elements. Now f is having elements x as 1 to 4, right? The elements are 1 to 4. Y is from 1 to 6. Okay. Similarly here I have 1 to 6 elements, and here z is also from 1 to 6. So anyhow G composite f, okay, if I am considering G composite f here, it will be well defined because it will be going from x to z. You can see the codomain of the first function is same as the domain of the second function. Okay, so I can have G composite f from x to z. Right. Now before that, what is the result asking you is G composite f is 1 1. So first we have to check whether G composite f is 1 1. Now G composite f is 1 1 means it is going from x to z. That means 1 2 3 4 is going to 1 2 3 4 5 6. So that means I have to find G composite f of 1. I have to find G composite f of 2. I have to find G composite f of 3 because my elements are coming from x. I have to find G composite f of 4. Now let us operate this. So this will be G of f of 1. So answer is G of f of 1 is 1, right? So I will have answer again 1 because G of 1 is also 1. G of f of 2. If I look here again, I can see that f of 2 is still always with what to say, in order to avoid confusion, always you when you substitute the values, you first substitute the values of inside. Okay, f of 2. What is f of 2, children? F of 2 will be again G of 2. So again it is 2. Similarly G of f of 3. Okay, by definition. So this will be again going to be, it is again going to be f of 3 is again going to be G of 3. So it is again 3. So it is again G of f of 4. So it is again going to be 4 is going to 4 here, right? 4 is going to 4 here to 4. So it is again 4. Okay, so children, here you can see that every answer is unique. 1 is going to 1, 2 is going to 2, 3 is going to 3, 4 is going to 4. And in Z you have elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So that means, children, here all the elements coming from X has exactly one and only one image in Z. Okay, so you can say that your function G composite F is 1, 1. G composite F is 1, 1. Now we have started with the first part of the definition. G composite F is 1, 1. Now we have to check what about F and what about G. Okay, so now if I look at F is very clear. It is 1, 1, children. Why is it 1, 1? It is 1, 1 because f of 1 is 1, f of 2 is 2, f of 3 is 3, f of 4 is 4. That means all the elements have one and only one image. That's why your function f is 1, 1. Alright. Now what about your second function g? G. 1 is mapped to 1, 2 is mapped to 2, 3 is mapped to 3, 4 is mapped to 4, 5 is mapped to 5, but 6 is again mapped to 5. So here you can see that these two elements 5 and 6, they have images as same, but 5 is not equal to 6 by the definition of injectivity. It violates the definition of injectivity, so it is not 1, 1. So what does this mean, children? This means that G composite F is 1, 1 need not imply that F and G both should be 1, 1. Okay, need not imply that both are 1, 1. Is that clear? Right? Because if this condition has to be true, then both f and g has to be 1, 1. But we have got one example here where your f is 1, 1, but g is not 1, 1. So that's why g composite f is 1, 1 will never imply that f and g are 1, 1. Okay. Now let us go to result number 3. Result number 3 is a direct one. It says that if f is a function from a to b, and g is a function from b to c are onto. They are saying that both functions are onto. Then show that. Show that means definitely this result is true. Show that g composite f is onto. Okay. Last time we had seen f is 1, 1. We have seen that f is 1, 1, g is 1, 1. Then g composite f is 1, 1. So here the other way around, we have asked f and g are onto. Then what can you say about g composite f? Okay, so let's start with the definition. Now g composite f is possible because, as I said, codomain and here domain is same. So I will have it from a to c. Okay, so let me apply the definition of onto for a to c. Sorry, a to b, and I have to apply the definition of onto on b to c. Okay, children. So what will happen here? It says by definition of onto that let y belongs to, let me use the same letter not to avoid confusion. So let b belongs to b, then there exists, this is a symbol for there exists a belongs to a, b belongs to b, there exists a belongs to a, such that your f of a will be equal to b. Okay, now this side, this is the definition of onto. This side what will happen? Let c belongs to c, then there exists, this is symbol of there exists, small b belongs to capital B, such that what will happen? G of b will be same as c. Okay, children. Now I want to prove the onto of this set, right? So I am going to start with let for every c belong to c, there exists. We are not sure, but we are just trying it. There exists a belongs to a. Why I am taking a belongs to a? Because your domain is this, right? So such that g composite f of a, right? I want g composite f of a because I want this way, right? I want f of, here as I wanted f of a equal to b, here I want to prove that g of f composite a is some c. So g composite f of a will be what? G of f of a. So but what is f of a, children? Here f of a is given to me here as g of b, and g of b is nothing but c. So I am able to find, right? I am able to find some c belonging to c such that its pre-image is there in a. Is that clear? Yes. So for every c belongs to c, I started with suppose there exists some a belongs to a. Then I wanted to see what is g composite f of a. What will be looking like here? So g composite f of a is written as g of f of a by definition, but f of a, since it is onto, it is b, but since g is onto, it is becoming g of b equal to c. So I have final answer g composite f of a equal to c. So that means my g composite f is onto. That means if under this condition, if F is onto and G is onto, then G composite F is also onto. Now we have to prove the next result is the counter part of this, the counter inverse, okay, the counter of the statement. What is the counter of this statement, or the backward implication of the statement is, if G composite F is onto, then F and G are they onto, right? Just we have tried before, just we have looked before. If G composite F is 1 1, then what about F and G? Are they both 1 1? Similarly, this time my question is, if my G composite F is onto, does it mean that my F and G are onto? So let me write that. G composite F is onto. Then what can we say about F and G? Okay, so let me take an example. Okay, counter example, because counter example will be helpful. Forward implication we already proved, but backward implication we are going to prove it by a counter example. Okay, so I am going to take my set X. Set X I am going to take it as 1, 2, 3, 4. Set Y also I am going to take it as 1, 2, 3, 4. Set Z I am going to take it as, say, 1, 2, 3. As usual, F I am going to start from X to Y. I am going to start my function G from Y to Z. Okay, so very well, you can see that I can write G composite F, because the domain, codomain here, the codomain and the domain here are the same. So I can have very well my G composite F running from X to Z. Now I should have definition how the elements of X here goes to Y, or the elements of Y here goes to Z. So here I have F. Okay, here I have F as defined as F of 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 3, and 4 is 3. Okay, now I have function G. 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 3, and 4 is also 3. Suppose, children, this I have done in advance, okay, in order to show you this result. Okay, so just to make you sure, or just to make you understand that the backward implication is not true, I have I had already checked, I have already prepared this example and checked it before, so that we need not waste time. Okay, anyhow we will follow the result. Anyhow we should be careful about the result. Okay, the result is very important to be, which is to be kept in mind, not the example, because once the result you understand, you can very well generate example as I am doing here. Alright, so now children, in my G composite F here, my G composite F means here X, the elements are 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and in my Z elements are 1, 2 and 3. Alright, so we are going to check G composite F at 1, G composite F at 2, G composite F at 3, G composite F at 4, because my function is X. Okay, now let us calculate this one by one. Now Z, what is Z? 1, 2, 3. So it is G of F of 1, G of F of 2, G of F of 3, G of F of 4. Alright, so what will happen here, children? G of F of 1. Okay, F of 1. What is F of 1? F of 1 is 1. What is F of 2? 2. What is F of 3? 3, right here. F of 4 is also 3 here, right? You can see from here, I got the answers from here. Now look at G of 1, 1. G of 2, 2. G of 3, 3. G of 4 is also 3. Alright, now it is correct. Yeah, answers, whatever calculation I have done is correct, because my Z is having elements from 1, 2 and 3. Alright, so here I can see that, children, every element in my Z, okay, that means every image element in my set Z is definitely having a pre-image. I have understood every element here as a pre-image. So I can write here G composite F is onto. Alright, now I have to check whether my f and g are onto. Okay, so what is my function f? My function f is from x to y. Okay, x is 1, 2, 3, 4, y is also 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I look at this set, children, the set of second element, the ordered pair, the set of second element is called set of second element, or the second element is the image, right? So here I can see that it is 1, 2, 3 and 3. Whereas in my set, now my set f is from x to y. In my y the elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, and here you can see that if I collect the, look at the second element, set of images, it will be 1, 2, 3 and 3. That means 4 does not have a pre-image. That means this is not onto. Right? So I am able to prove f is not onto. Anyhow, let us look at g also. Now g is a function from y to z. Okay, y is 1, 2, 3, 4, z is 1, 2, 3. So if I look here the second element which is the set of images, so it is 1, 2, 3. Yes, so if I look here, my z is also 1, 2, 3, right? But it's of no use because we have already, it is onto, here it is onto, right? But here we already got it, f is not onto. So this means that, children, g composite f is never implying that both f and g are onto. You cannot guarantee that both are onto, because I am able to produce a counter example where f is not onto but g is onto. One of the function happens to be onto but not both. Okay, so it's very, very important result, children. I will again highlight it. Okay, it says that if f is a function from a to b, g is a function from b to z is 1, 1, then g composite f is 1, 1. Similarly, if f is a function from a to b and g is a function from b to c are onto, then g composite f is also onto, right? But the converse, okay, the counterpart, the converse part is not true. I hope you have understood, children. That's all for today. Next time when we will meet, we will be defining one more definition. After that, we will be solving problems on composition of functions. Thank you, children.